Thanks, Steph. One of the great joys of today has been talking to people as we've networked in upstairs and also outside. And I asked a couple of people what they thought, and they said, too many grey suits, we need more passion, and we need more women. Now, I can do two of those, but I can't do the third in a hurry. But wow, what a day. Absolutely sensational. I hope you'll agree it's been one of the most stimulating days that I've had the privilege of being part to, and I hope you will agree that as well. We started the day off with Bob Coxon, the chairman, setting the journey that CPI's taken. That set the scene for the day. We then heard from Ian Murray and from Mike Gregory reassert the importance for manufacturing in the UK, and also that older people are actually quite valuable, which I'm starting to appreciate the sense of. We heard from Neil Carson as he set out the UK manufacturing opportunity from the process sector, which he pointed out is the UK's largest manufacturing sector by a country mile, contributing some 50% of the value that's added by manufacturing in the UK. And in the discussion that followed his presentation, we heard about the importance of innovation in delivering that opportunity. The panel debate that followed was perfectly illustrating where the opportunities are and informing us what needs to be done to achieve that potential. We then heard the European perspective from Soren, who provided us with a clear and passionate overview of the Horizon 2020 programme and highlighted the importance of the process industries in moving towards a more sustainable Europe. We then enjoyed Steph's lifts, and my apologies for that, but we have to cope with these things from time to time. We managed to get everyone back down here in time for the Secretary of State, who told us that the UK understands the need for innovation, that it gets the need to support translation research as a key policy instrument. We heard that Herman Hauser's review of the catapult centres has been strongly supportive. We heard that the UK understands that it's in a global marketplace and that global supply chains are important. We also heard that the need for translational research is recognised and supported by all political parties. It's not a policy differentiating issue. I did like the point where he said we need some aggro to actually get that heard by people, but the fact that it's joined across the parties is very encouraging. So we'll now concentrate on aggro, something that we can do quite well. The discussion that then followed with the Chemical Industries Association, the CPI, Innovate UK and the Knowledge Transfer Networks also concluded that the need for strong support was necessary for the technology, the translational innovation step, which is just as well, because that's what we're doing. We then heard from Graham Hillier about how CPI goes about innovation. We heard that it's a lot more than just extending university research. It is different and complementary. We saw 11 blobs, not 4 boxes, for example. We heard that it's about the pragmatic but systematic integration of those blobs. Technology is just one of those factors. The 3 case studies provided by Applied Graphene Materials, Invista and Polyphotonics brought that integration and innovation process into vivid detail. And I should say at this point, there was one day when I walked in and I talked to Richard and I said, how's it going? And he famously said, we can't make anything, and when we do, it doesn't work. And I thought that represented an encouraging highlight in the process that Polyphotonics has been engaged on. And finally, Judith, what a personal overview, and thank you for that, of the importance of innovation, but also the need to communicate what we're doing, the need to actually say, this is what we're good at, this is how we do it. The purpose of this conference is to celebrate the success of CPI on its 10th anniversary. Innovation is CPI's business. We are very good at it. And that's not just me saying that. Over the last 10 years, CPI has learned what innovation is, what is needed to do it, and we've delivered enormous value to industry and to the UK in the process. As you've seen, we've completed more than £300 million worth of projects with industry, delivering some £2.4 billion of gross value added in the process. And as Richard said, we get audited and they're audited numbers. So they're not just me saying that, they are audited numbers. 10 years ago, CPI took an initial grant of £600,000, and I hired Val Briggs, my PA, and we started on a journey. That journey has changed the innovation landscape in the UK. Herman Hauser used this as his model in his first report, and we featured strongly in the review that's just been completed. We are one of the founder members of the High Value Manufacturing Catapult, and you heard Vince say we may even be one of the fathers of the High Value Manufacturing Catapult, which I found particularly rewarding to hear. That catapult is the largest and most successful to date, and it's great to have many of our catapult colleagues here in the audience, and I've also been receiving comments from the colleagues who couldn't be here as today's progressed. So thank you for that. 10 years on, we've created a company that this year aims to turn over £18 million from a £600,000 start 10 years ago. That's not bad. It employs 240 people, and it's the innovation partner of choice for many small and many large companies completing 350 projects and growing as each day goes past in the process. Less than 40% of our revenues come from the public sector, and we've won more than €150 million euros worth of investment back from Europe as part of that process. This is going to fall off in a second, so I'll do that with that. We collaborate with peer centres in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Finland, in France, in Korea, in Japan, and in the US. We run 5 national centres of very different technologies, and we can do this because we understand innovation, and we deliver innovation day in and day out. So what's the future? Well, for the UK to capitalise on its world-leading science base, it must continue to focus on translation, on innovation. That's come out several times today from very powerful and eminent speakers. It is a fact, though, that modern manufacturing nations such as Germany, France and Finland spend between 3 and 10 times more on translation and innovation than they do on university-based research. And we've heard that's good. Spending money on university research is not bad. But the UK has it the other way around. We spend nearly 10 times more on university research than we do on translation and innovation. And in fact, we spend more than France and Germany spend on translation and innovation in this country on research. That's not bad, it's not good, it needs to be questioned and it needs to be tested. And that's where CPI fits in. We have excellent people. We've got leading edge assets and world-class knowledge integrated together into our 4 key areas of industrial biotechnology and biorefining, printable electronics, biologics, and the formulation and flexible manufacturing work that we hope will be augmented by an announcement, we hope, next week. We'll wait and see. Also, you have seen the windowless aircraft video that was shown just before Vince arrived, and you've seen that was seen or has been seen by over 100 million people via our website and by international news. That's the sort of reach that CPI is now beginning to achieve. When you put that reach together with our key technology areas and our hopes, we are an innovation factory for the UK. That's what we do. We make innovation happen for the United Kingdom. In the immediate short term, we're looking forward to developing and delivering the 25 million National Formulation Centre that I've just mentioned. We're concentrating on bringing on stream the £38 million National Biologics Manufacturing Centre and the £14 million National Graphene Application Centre. These 3 centres together will continue to support industry and will develop and create further substantial value for the UK. In the longer term, CPI has ambitious plans to grow further in its chosen areas. We have well-developed plans supported by leading industry players for world-class ranked biorefinery pilots, for a factory of the future to look at revolutionary ways to make biologics, and for a centre to develop photonic-based healthcare systems that builds on our printable electronics capability. And there will be others. We will continue to develop spin-out companies. Some of our youngsters are already showing promise. We want to and must repeat the success of Polyphotonics. Saving the NHS potentially £1 billion a year did not happen by accident, so we can do it again. We will build on our skill development work with universities and with industry, giving industry the skills it craves to exploit new technology. We will build close relationships with our world-leading university research partners to ensure that industry has access to innovation based on leading science. Importantly, we will concentrate on developing further and better our relationships with the process industry in totality and make sure that it benefits from the best of what the UK can offer and what CPI does, which is innovation. Days like today don't just happen. There's been a lot of hard work in allowing me to stand here and reflect. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to the speakers and to the panel members. You've given freely of your time and your views, and for that we're very grateful. To the CPI team who organised today, thank you. You have dealt with challenging timescales and you have delivered. Thank you again. And thank you too to Steph. You've done an outstanding job today. You've brought out the best in the panellists and guided and controlled the whole day. Another huge thank you, and hopefully a measure of success in the future, will be maybe a BBC Business Breakfast broadcast live from CPI. And thank you to you too, the audience. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed the day as much as I have, and that you found the speakers, the discussions and the exhibition, and each other stimulating, interesting, and a worthwhile use of time. As we finish the proceedings, you might like to know that we're having a drinks reception next door. I do hope you will join us. We've invited a few people to join that from along the road, probably the Palace of Westminster. So you might be surprised at who you might meet. There might be nobody, I don't know, but we've invited them. And whenever we do that, somebody usually turns up. So that's good. And then finally, none of CPI's success and growth could have been achieved without CPI's outstanding people. 240 very talented, very dedicated, innovation-focused people ready and willing to help industry and the UK create value for translation, through translation and innovation. Thank you all from me. Thank you.